Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, my name is Erlina Dwi Setiani. My official number is A1M218029. Okay, in this video I will present the article, and the title of the article is Exploring Language Anxiety Regarding Speaking Skill in Iranian Youth Learners in Academic Site in Malaysia, by Ali Asgar Yosefi Azarfam from University Putra Malaysia. The first is introduction. The first point of introduction is background of the study. The focus of ESL of E-level instruction has moved from the narrow concern for developing learners' linguistic competence to the need for dealing with and enhancing the level of communicative competence. Consequently, Iranian learners for English, especially in non-governmental sectors and English institutes, are struggling to improve and advance their English communicative skills, particularly listening and speaking skills. In the meantime, effective variables in language learning have been arisen, among which are anxiety, self-confidence, and self-esteem that Iranian youth learners are encountering and suffering from in communicative language classroom. The next is statement of the problem. Language anxiety has been investigated mostly from the learner's point of view, exposing the nature of the anxiety they may feel in the context of language learning. One of the weaknesses of past research studies in this field is the lack of instructors' perspective on language anxiety. The gap between teachers' perception or assumption regarding student anxiety and the real psychological needs of students. Next is objective of the study. There are 3 points of the objective of the study. The first is to find out why all learners feel anxious or embarrassed while learning to speak English language. The second is to realize what influence anxiety casts on communication in target language. And the last is to find and suggest some strategies for language teacher in order to alleviate language anxiety in the learners. Next, research question. Some with the objective research question have 3 main tools. The first is, what are the factors concerning communication apprehension that cause language anxiety for EFL learners in learning to speak English language? Second is, what are the EFL teachers and learners' perception of language anxiety that's manifested in the learners? And the last is, which strategies can be used both by teachers and learners to deal with language anxiety? Next chapter is literature review. According to 1991, recognized 6 potential sources of language anxiety from 3 different aspects: the learner, the teacher, and the instructional practice. He claimed that language anxiety is caused by personal and interpersonal anxiety, learner beliefs about language learning, instructor belief about language teaching, instructor-learner interaction, classroom procedure, and language testing. Methodology. In this research, for research design, uses the qualitative method. For sampling procedure, makes use of exploratory case study procedure in the form of single case, single site, and accordant with purposive sampling. For informants, the first group of informants of this study consists of 3 Iranian college students majoring. They are Hadi. Hadi is finishing the 2nd semester of computer engineering in MSc level. Mahdi is putting an end to his 4th semester of human resource development in MSc level. And the last is Askan, is about to finish his 1st semester of the course economic management in MSc level. The second group of informant consists of 3 highly experienced teachers. They are Reza. Reza has roughly 11 years of teaching experience in several places in Iran. Hesam has been teaching in different language institutes in Iran for almost 12 years. And Ali has taught English for about 15 years at different institutes and also at a university of an undergraduate student in our course. Next slide. The next is data collection. Researchers are the main instrument used to collect, analyze, and interpret data. In this study, the researcher used interview as the instrument. Interview is a method that elicits information and data by directly asking questions of information. Next is data analysis. The researcher adopted an inductive approach in his dealing with the transcribed data. Then he pulled the data apart and put it back together. Read and reread the transcripts of the interview to search for recurring themes and patterns of participants' response. Next point is finding and discussion. There were some discrepancies between teachers and students' perspective on the role of anxiety in the EFL classroom. For EFL learners' perspective, there are 5 over inability to communicate in class, others in class. The second is anxiety of the over producing perfect and faultless sentences. Third is anxiety over making error in speaking. Heidi and Mahdi claim to be apprehensive about making errors when speaking in class, such as being afraid to use the wrong words. And the fourth is fear of being called on. Heidi and Mahdi clearly stated their fear of being called on in class. They both think that they are unable to overcome this problem. And the last is avoiding asking professor questions. All 3 informers have problem asking professor questions. They avoid asking professor questions. For example, Hadi is afraid of asking professor's questions, and he does so in order to earn a good participant's grade. For EFL teacher perspective, regarding the views of teachers to the role of language anxiety plays in EFL learners' speaking skills, the 3 informers almost admitted the possible negative effect of it. This supports the current researchers' perception toward language anxiety, such as Ohata 2005, who maintains that language learning anxiety is to be rated significantly higher than other class anxieties. The last point is conclusion. This research done through in the semi-structured interviews with 3 experienced EFL teachers along with 3 EFL learners is considered one of such attempts to provide some alternative insight on language anxiety from a different perspective. The result of the study showed that language anxieties could affect the speaking skill of learners by lowering the quality of oral performance as that anxiety increases. Okay, that's all from me. Thanks for your attention. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.